I just watched Salem's Lot on Max.
And I didn't, so he's going to tell us all about it.
What do I say?
Spoilers!
Spoilers.
Run it again!
Nope. The story follows Ben Mears, who's a writer returning to his hometown in hopes to find some inspiration for his next book. While there, all of a sudden the town starts to experience this mystery of where these people are just disappearing randomly and they're not sure why. And then they soon learn, because they show it right off the bat,
It's a humanoid blood-leeching monster.
Yes. There's like a sinister Kurt Barlow, the vampire.
Not Kurt Barlow.
Kurt. God damn it, Kurt.
Vampire. PhD.
The whole premise is that this vampire needs a sacrifice early in order to start his ritual, where he starts turning people into his bloodthirsty army of other vampires.
Why does he have that? What's that for?
His army?
Yeah.
I think he just wants to rule the world. And
he gets lonely.
Army, I guess. Lonely. That's not really explained, I suppose.
Just a little bored.
Why he wants to do it. That's a good point. That's never explained. There's no reason why. It's just Kurt does what Kurt does.
Don't you fucking mess with Kurt.
Overall, it was a solid movie. I thought there's a lot of really good acting in this, because there were definitely lines in this movie that were definitely cringe lines. But because of the acting, they weren't delivered in a cringe way. It's like if this was the cringe area, they were delivered right here, just above it.
Can you give us an example?
Like when they say like, there's vampires. It's like, that's kind of a cringe line to say. But because of the way they said it, I just like it felt
made it
natural.
believable.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
well, there's vampires, you're right. So yeah, I think where I have issues though is that it's a typical horror movie where they do typical things where the people are just being stupid. And an example of that, you follow Matt, who's a teacher in this town of Salem, who first is the one who first realizes these are vampires and somehow knows the history of vampires and how it all works. Like literally has this like infinite knowledge about
It's
it.
a good thing I live here. I'm a vampire expert.
Right, and when he encountered a vampire, he used a cross to like shoo it away. Like it can't get near him if he has a cross. Okay, so the crosses are their weapons. However, throughout the movie, and including Matt himself, who knows everything about vampires, he goes into the house where the main vampire is to go kill him. Brings nothing with him. Not a flashlight, so it's like dark.
Going in
can't
bald.
see. Doesn't have his cross with him. Has nothing with him at all. And I'm just like, why? That's just not how anyone would behave ever, especially when you know everything about this.
I think we're just gonna leave this one up to chance, boys.
It drove me nuts. And to be fair, I haven't read the book, but if that's how it happens in the book too, then I've always had this issue with Stephen King films. And I don't know if it's a book or the translation into movie, but my issue is that I get Stephen King is a really famous writer, but I would argue he's not a good writer, and I'm gonna throw that out there.
Wow, shots fired at Stephen King.
I just
Look at that,
think-
he's ducking and weaving.
It's just not thinking about details like that and purposely writing scenarios for the sake of the scenario to exist. It's like, that's not how that would play out. That's not how that should play out. That's not how that should be written. I'm not sure if it's the adaptation. Maybe I'll go read the book just to confirm this, but I'm going to throw that out
He's
there.
not. He hasn't read since second grade.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Notice he didn't say it was a lie.
And lastly, I want to throw out, and I believe this would be a film adaptation. They emphasize at one point in the movie how the vampires don't have any blood at all. They were stabbing them, they're like shocked. There's no blood.
And that's why they need blood, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But then about halfway in the movie, all of a sudden they're hitting vampires, they're gushing blood everywhere. I'm just like, why? You made it a point of emphasis to mention this to us, and it just drives me nuts. The whole movie is saved by the actors, but the directing choices, maybe some of the writing in here too, I struggled. The actors saved this one. If you're okay with the cheesy classic horror film, somebody trips and falls while running from the evil person, then sure, I think it's still well done overall. I personally am tired of that. I don't recommend it because of that. And my score, I'm gonna lean 5 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Stephen King.
I'm gonna get some hate
Notice
mail.
how he didn't say no. Don't say that.
Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Comment down below what you thought about this if you go to see it, even though I don't recommend it.
And if you're interested, I did a review of It's What's Inside that
Yes.
came out on Netflix. Go over and see that video as well. Look at our YouTube shorts and TikToks as well.
Thank you. And we're just two regular dudes doing regular reviews.
Nice.
Me. Okay.
Professional.
I can't take it. Okay.
Go.
Got it.